Good morning! Happy Friday, everybody. Lisa and Eric here. We're going to be talking today about positioning yourself in the marketplace and how to not be like everyone else, I guess is kind of the way I would say it in my own speak. We are seeing a lot of trends in society where people just, I think they're just doing their day-to-day thing and just doing whatever it takes to grind through the day. And we want to give you a different idea. For us, we like to tell our clients we're like an anti-agency, and our clients go, what are you talking about? Because they hire us as an agency, and that's what they think they're getting, is oh, we're coming to you because we have some needs, and you guys do those things, and we're going to hire you and you're going to get those done for us. And then we go a little deeper. We say, well, yes, but there's lots of ways we can do those things for you. And one of the biggest things for us is it's more than just a to-do list and getting things done. And one of the things that we work with our clients on and deliver to our clients is being more than just delivering the goods. And we want you to think like, how can I not just do what everyone else is doing in my industry, in the marketplace that I'm serving? I don't care if you're a real estate agent or if you're a coach or you're whatever you are, doctor. Always we always try to go in a different direction what everyone else is doing, because if you're just following everyone else, well, then you're just really going to be ended up competing potentially on dollars for hours or service fees. Not, well, how am I different though? When you work with us, you get me and Lisa, and we're the ones that are on calls with you. We're the ones that are working through problems. And it's not just, well, here's what we're doing, here's how to get done.
Yeah, it's more than a list. It's more than, like, what I hear you saying is, Eric, is that it's more than just the to-do list, and it's more than just the deliverable. It's how you do it. It's not about the do, it's about the be.
Yeah.
It's one of our clients always says it's who you're being. And that always sticks with me. And I'm like, yes, that's it. It is who you're being as you're doing it. Because when you start out, you look at other people who are successful in your industry and you're like, how did they do that? And how did they get this success? And you try to model what they did. You look for someone who's a few steps or leaps and bounds ahead of you and go, I'm going to do that. But the problem is you're not them. You're you. So instead of looking at the way everyone else is doing it, you've got to do an internal deep dive to say, who am I in my life? I'm not talking about necessarily in your business. So when Eric and I look at who we are in our life, we're parents. We have a little guy, Oliver, who you may see bopping around. Maybe not at 9:30 in the morning because he's at school, but
one of his PA days or next week.
Yeah, or you'll see him when our website launches, which we're so excited about. And as parents to him, we are present. We are curious. We are methodical. We think about the words that we use and the way that we speak and the way we interact with him. We're cautious and curious. And we do the same thing with our clients. We're responsible. There's never a moment that you and I aren't going, are you taking him? Am I taking him? Are we doing this? Are you doing that?
Yeah.
It's well thought out, because you have to when you're running a household and you have children or pets or whatever you're taking, when you have responsibilities outside of your work. So when we started thinking about this agency, as you were saying, the anti-agency, people are like, oh, agency. And I'm like, what's making you make that face and say that? And they're like, I can never get a hold of anybody and I pay like $1 million. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not true for us. The same care and concern that we take into raising our child, raising our baby, is the way that we treat your business and your baby. And then it's not just about saying it. It's about following through and being it, letting your actions speak louder than your words. Because how many times have you had that where you've hired someone or you've read all about someone and went, oh my God, they sound amazing. And then you get in and you start working with them and you're like, ooh, this is not
Yeah, this isn't aligned.
Or you see a speaker talking and it sounds great and they pitch you their thing and you buy it from stage, and then you get in the program and you're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So it's more important that you live into those values of who you are when you're choosing what you do, how you do it, and how you want to position yourself in the industry. Because that's truly what makes you stand out. Like Eric said, you don't ever want to compete on money. So these are the things you don't ever want to compete on. You don't ever want to compete on money because there's somebody that will always do it cheaper. Not saying they're going to do it better, but they will always do it cheaper. You never want to compete on services, like quantity of services, because somebody will always throw in an extra. I'll get this person, or I'll do this for free, or I'll do that extra, right? You don't want to compete on services because you will lose on that. And you don't want to compete on time, because there is someone who will always do it faster. Again, not necessarily better, but you don't know the behind the scenes, whether they're working 18 hours a day or they're burning their team out. You never want to compete on money, services, or time. So it's who you're being. It's how you do it is what makes people choose you and helps you stand out in the market. Yeah, like people go agency. Oh, like they don't care about me. And we're the complete opposite.
Yeah, and that's not to say that all agencies are horrible. There's some great agencies out there, and we're one of them. I think it comes down to care and not just being, a lot of service-based industries almost hope or act as if they're selling a product. Like you sell coffee makers. Here you go. Pick the coffee maker you want. There you go. You bought it. It cost X amount of dollars. Like when you're in the service industry and you're working with people, you have to have compassion, you have to care. And I think that's the biggest missing piece for a lot of businesses today is they don't have that compassion. They don't have that care.
Yeah.
They don't have that respect where it's like, treat me like a human being. Don't treat me like a number and get it done. And that's really the biggest thing with us is I think everybody would be a lot happier in business if they just treated people with respect and loved on each other a little bit more.
The humanity, like bringing the humanity back into business.
Yeah.
So start thinking about, what are people saying? What compliments do people give you? Or what do people say about you? Like, wow, you're really empathetic, or you're a really great listener. You're a really great problem solver. You really go that extra mile. I can tell you really care about me. I can feel that love. Put that in your copy. Put that in your marketing. When you get a testimonial, typically from clients, there is the actual like service testimonial. Like, Eric and Lisa did this for me. Here's where I was before. Here's the result that I got. But then there's also a character testimonial, which is like, working with Eric and Lisa helped me sleep better at night. They really cared about my questions. And answered them appropriately. They really took that extra mile to be really, thoughtful and curious and all those things we were talking about.
Yeah.
There's that character testimonial that you can get from people. And sometimes that speaks volumes, because it's that age old, people don't always remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel, right? So what are people saying about you? How do you want to feel when, that's the second question I want you to think about. How do you want to feel when you are the client? What's important to you? Whether that's, going to Canadian Tire, or what's in the US? What's like the equivalent of Canadian Tire in the US? Dick's Sporting Goods?
Yeah,
maybe?
Like
I don't know. But when you're going somewhere shopping, how do you want to feel as the customer? So what compliments are people giving you? How do you want to feel as the customer? And lastly, it's almost like, what do you stand for? This week, if you've been tuning into our lives all week, we were talking about branding, and we were talking about your XYZ statement. And, we're talking about all this like foundational stuff that you want to start thinking about. These are like the check marks that you want to go back and look at your business and go, yep, I got that. Yep, I understand that. Ooh, I need some more work around this.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to talk about positioning today. Anything else?
Nope.
This was your idea. I was like, you talk today. You're talking. I'm not talking today.
Be the anti-agency in your business.
Yes. And post that below. What is that? How are you doing it different? You know, I saw this quote where it said, don't ever tell an artist that they're off track or that they're off path. Because that's the whole point. We want to be off path. We're meant to be off path. We're nervous and scared because we're pushing the boundaries. We're playing to those outer edges of what's possible for us. And man, am I feeling that with going to New York City next week. We're going to be live in New York City next week.
We're crazy.
We're crazy, but we can't wait to share that with you. But that's the point. Be off track a little bit and get curious and see what you find in those spaces. Happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend. And we'll see you on Monday.
From New York City.
From New York City. Live from New York City.
It'll be too early for a slice. So
a slice of pizza? Oh my God. I need to get with the culture.
Like,
here.
you're from the States and you still don't know what slice is?
I'm going to get slice.
I'm going to get slice. Peace out. See you Monday. Bye.
Oh, we're still going.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
click it off, babe. You gotta click it off.
Oh, I'm clicking. Oh.
Hit the button.